This video is about a tool that is not typically frequently used because we have a Zoom license, but it is about Google Meet, which is the meeting software that Google provides. So we're going to kind of go through a little bit of the basics and advanced things for this because some of you just may not be as familiar with using Google Meet. So it is located in the waffle to just start a brand new Meet. You can also start a Meet from a doc, a sheet, or a slide. There's a little Google Meet icon in the top right corner next to the share button that looks the exact same as this video camera. And you can also start a Google Meet from a calendar event if the host has enabled that setting. So there's lots of ways to open Google Meets, but we're just going to start a Google Meet from just the Google Meet icon. So you can put in a code or a nickname and start a new meeting. We're going to start an instant meeting. And I'm going to move this over here. I want to be able to see all my controls that I have down here. Close that. Okay, so you can actually add others when your meeting is ready because I'm the only one in the meeting right now. I'm going to mute myself just so there's no feedback or anything. So let's go over some of the basic controls that we have down here. You have where you can mute yourself, turn your video off and on. Closed captions. One thing that is super amazing about Google Meet is that you can change the language for the captions. So if you need to have a conference and there should be a translation issue, you can actually set those captions to be in the language that they need to be for your translation. So I'm not saying it will be 100% accurate, but that is a feature that's available in Google Meet. You have the raising hand feature, just like you do in Zoom. The presentation mode. So I'm going to jump over to these settings right here for the host controls, and let's talk about presenting. If you've ever been in a Zoom meeting and you've been asked to share your screen, or multiple people are asked to share your screen, you may have run into the issue where if you're not the host, you can't share your screen. So under host controls, you have the ability to let everyone be able to share their screen. That's right there. You can toggle it back and forth. Everyone send chat messages. Everyone turn off or on their microphone and video. So if you're having a meeting with students, you may want to restrict all those. But if you're having a meeting with colleagues or other adults, then I would give these permissions for the meeting because you never know who may need to share their screen with something. And then you want to give people the autonomy to be able to turn their microphone on and off to speak and their video and things like that. So I wanted to just make sure I mentioned that whenever we talked about sharing our screen. Now, when sharing our screen, we have a couple of different ways that we can do that. Typically, in Zoom, the screen that you're on gets shared and then your video kind of goes away. Typically in Google Meet, that's going to stick. So when you share, you can share your entire screen. And I have dual monitors right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my second screen. So within this Google Meet, it kind of takes it a second to come up. My tile for my video is actually still down here. And then I'm presenting my screen right here. I can stop presenting. I can present just a window. So I have multiple windows open right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, which is, I think, the recommended way that they recommend presenting is through a window. And then I also have where you can do just a tab. So I have lots of tabs open right now. I'm going to present this one. I think the tab is what they actually just recommend, which, yes, that would be ideal for me because I normally have a lot of tabs open. So this tab is over on my dual screen. My little Meet camera is right here so you can still see my face. And then I can navigate my screen while you're still presenting. So there's 3 different ways that you can present right there. And then you can stop present. And then finally, let's talk about a few more options. One thing that is really great for collaboration is that you can actually open up a Jamboard within the meeting. You just click on whiteboard. You either choose to start a new one or choose one that's from your drive. So if you want a collaborative effort, then you can open that up within a Google Meet. So that's pretty awesome. You can change the layout. So this is something that is mentioned about what is best when presenting. You can do spotlight where the person that's speaking is there, sidebar where the person that's speaking is in the center and then everyone else is on the side, or that traditional tile view where you can see everyone at one time. So that's just depending on your preference with your class. Full screen, visual effects, the captions, and then people can also pull in a phone for audio if they don't have, if they're not on a computer or something like that. So they can do that as well. Okay, we have a few more things to look at over here. We just have our meeting information, so you can copy that info and shoot it to someone in a calendar event or an email. You can manage your participants right here. The chat box is there for everyone to be able to chat. There's the whiteboard and then the host controls. So Google Meet really has a lot of potential to be a really, really great and interactive tool. So let's leave this. And what I do want to do is go into calendar and talk about opening up an event from there. So I'm just going to use this. So this is an event that I created. So whenever I created this event, I can add that Google Meet right there. I just click on that event. I can copy it. I can do my options right there for end the thing. I can set up who my co-hosts are going to be. And then whenever that calendar event comes up, then your participants who are invited to the calendar event are just going to join that Google Meet right there. I also forgot the best parts, the visual effects, super cute backgrounds. You can blur your background a little bit or a lot. You can be under the sea. So there's lots of super cute options too that you can do that's just fun, like if you're presenting to kids. I think that there was one, oh, the spaceship. I thought, that would be great for students for sure. So that's something you can do too to get ready. And it also does a really good job of blocking out the background. If you are afraid, like if you're at home and kids or pets or something may be running by, you can do the backgrounds work really well on blocking that out. So that is basically an overview for Google Meet. Make sure that you are aware of the different presentation views. And one more thing I want to talk about. I did mention this in Google Classroom, but just to revisit that, with Google Classroom, you can generate meetings directly from Google Classroom. That link stands all of the time, and students can only join that if a teacher is in the classroom. So Google Meet is also directly embedded into Google Classroom now. And if you were going to have regular class meetings, you would not have to schedule that meeting every time. You would just come to the Google Classroom, the teacher would open up the meeting, and people could come in at the prospective time that's set.